believe that the government in all the countries in Africa have a role to play.
Look, I don't want to speak specifically for establishments that might be there, but I was having a conversation with a big voice in the entrepreneurial industry a while ago,
Okay.
and we both felt that no, there's not enough being done with regards to that, and especially with regards to females, money usually makes us feel a bit. We're very comfortable with money. We like it a lot, but we like to shop. But it makes us feel uncomfortable if we don't have the funding. And then you have a startup idea, which is great, but you'll never grow because there's no funding.
There are many people out there that have great ideas, but there's no fund. And for instance,
Correct.
here in my country, Nigeria, when you walk into a bank to request for fund, they'll ask you for collateral.
That's a
Rather
loan.
than
That's not. You almost, like I say, need to look at it as a sponsorship for me more than anything else. I don't like the term funding or a loan, or it sounds like something I need to give back at one stage. And that immediately creates uncertainty for me because now I'm already an entrepreneur. I'm putting myself out there. Is this going to work? Is it not going to work? Now someone is throwing another risk upon me. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the term needs to be I'm sponsoring you. I don't want
okay,
anything back. It's like someone that's going to a rehab. I'm sponsoring you and I'm giving this back to you. So yes, there's a very big gap. There is a big gap.
okay. Let's talk about your customer base. What strategies are you employing to attract and retain your customers?
I'm going to give it one word: consistency.
Okay,
So my message consistently is pigs can fly interiors. I'm going to make it happen for you.
okay,
Vocal cord, I'm your voice. Um, Word of mouth, huge,
okay.
huge. Um, it takes time, and I think that's why entrepreneurs sometimes also get irritated or tired of the process because it takes time. Because word of mouth is trust. That
Yeah,
means someone else trusted you enough to give you a number. Now, in any relationship, might be a marriage, friendship, trust is not built, hey, I met you for coffee and now we have trust. So that is the part where entrepreneurs also get a bit demotivated. They don't want to go through those initial phases because word of mouth is your biggest, most credible marketing tool. And the other one is you will always stay your brand. Now, it's very confusing at the moment. You've got TikTok, you've got this, Facebook, Instagram. What do I do? You might look, I understand a different challenge, but your business might not. I'm a huge LinkedIn fan. How did we meet?
on
You
LinkedIn.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, profile yourself. You are your business and you are your brand. Even if
okay,
you're a surgeon, a doctor, you are a brand. And the
okay.
best place to do that, if you're very uncertain about the channels to work in, for me, I found with entrepreneurs, is LinkedIn.
That's true. That's true. I've met a lot of people on LinkedIn.
I
A lot.
know, it's insane. And it's not like an Instagram or a Facebook or you meet funny people that wants to sell you
No,
Forex,
failing is
mate.
not.
$4 trillion per second type stuff. It's a bit, look, there is the dodgy stuff, but I mean, you can work through it. Look where you are now. And remember, you need to build. This is where it's starting. Like I said earlier, this is where a lot of entrepreneurs lose hope. Is this stage,
Okay.
where they feel like, okay, I had this great idea, and now it feels like everyone thinks it's the crappiest idea in the whole world. So now I'm just going to leave it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to
Yeah.
back to a place of safety. A place of safety is usually earning a fixed salary. You know what I mean? This
Yes.
is the hard part, and I'm going to address another question. I know that we had a conversation before. We're talking now, and that
Yeah.
is IQ, your resilience to
Yeah.
go through a hard time. IQ is your adversity quotients, so also referred to as your resilience
Okay.
quotient. Now, the definition of that is to come out of a hard time, and listen carefully, not just to survive and look okay. Come out of a hard situation and thrive. It's one of those situations where you see someone and you think, how did she do this? You know what I
Okay.
mean? She
Yes.
she didn't just survive. I think I want to learn something from her. You know what I mean?
Yes. How I got to know you was your article on Inc. Africa, where you talked about adversity quoted.
For me, where IQ intrigued me, look, if your personal life isn't great, not a lot of stuff is great. So
Okay.
I'm a single mother. I had to go through a divorce. I had to pick up the pieces. It wasn't the easiest time of my life. I can definitely tell you that. But I was very intrigued about what happens inside that sphere that made me pick up stuff and gave me the motivation to go on. And I think there's a lot of African women that's going through the same thing. Now, let me tell you why. IQ is actually directly linked to people that desert their family.
Okay.
And think about how many, and I don't really want to go into the socio-economic thing of this, but leaving a woman with a young baby, you know what I mean? That is
Yes.
bad IQ, if you know what I mean. So,
Yes.
um, and then suddenly the community has to jump in. I don't think there's enough support like that there used to be with regards to that. Um, and then it was important for me to know how can I uh, persevere with this, because otherwise I'm going to burn out. That's a big
Okay.
thing. Look, we all can do it for a year, and then we're going to be totally ridiculous. Now, for interview purposes, I think it was easy for me to put it into mind, body, and soul without going
Okay.
into I believe in the universe type of stuff. Now, everyone will say self-care. That's an easy one.
Okay.
It's not just bubble baths and candles and Julio Iglesias or whatever you guys listen in Nigeria. About listening, it's about actually releasing oxytocin, which is your love hormone. Now,
Okay.
your love hormone gets released when there's, um, let me give you an example. When your dog barks, this is research,
Okay.
and you look him in the eye and you acknowledge him, then he stops. That's exactly where puppy-eyed dogs come from. So you know that you've done something wrong, and then you go like this, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That
Yes.
releases oxytocin. Human
Okay.
touch releases oxytocin. So no one must ever again tell me a massage is not good for you, because it's in human touch. So it doesn't have to be an excuse the word in a sensual or a sexual way. Um, Martial arts releases oxytocin. I mean, that is just really ridiculous. So that for
Okay.
me is the mind, bit of a body part of that. But the other thing that's very important is you can't think properly
Okay.
when you've got brain fog. Brain fog is a big
Okay.
problem for entrepreneurs. They come to a stage where it's like, it's too much. I'm too tired. It feels like there's cotton wool in my head. Now, the reason that happens is because, again, this is facts.
Okay.
Um, there's a direct link between your gut and your brain. And usually you'll see entrepreneurs that don't eat well, they don't look after themselves, they don't take their supplements anymore. Yes, we all know we have to exercise and all of that. Gut, brain health, very
Okay.
important. That's how they cure autism these days. I mean, so it's an amazing thing. Look after what you eat, what you feed
All
in your
right.
gut.
Okay.
Do your omegas. If I can give entrepreneurs one pointer, put turmeric in anything. It's the greatest anti-inflammatory at the best price. Cook your pap, cook your rice, cook your everything with turmeric.
Okay.
Suddenly, you fixing your gut, direct link to your brain, can think clearer, all of those things. Now, your soul also needs to be fed. But that's the things
Okay.
that you love. Um, and that's where I come in with the interiors. I say to people, listen, like I told you the stats. Your home needs to be your happy place.
Yeah.
I
Now,
work from
I was
home. It's very weird that I'm saying this, but anyways.